Hey Woodhounds, Craig here, welcome back to the channel. It'll be another splitting video today, but before we go out and do that, I wanted to talk about a new modification that I'm going to do to my Wolfe Ridge 17RS. This modification is cheap, it's under $50, and it's going to help reduce my cycle time by at least 1 second. So what is it? Stroke limiters. So what I have here is 2 different stroke limiters that go around the piston to stop the ram from returning all the way home. The idea there is you don't need that whole cycle taking up that time when you have smaller pieces to split. From the factory, this Wolfe Ridge 17RS has a 24-inch stroke, and most of the wood I split is 16-inch. In fact, today, the stuff I'm going to split is 12-inch, so these should definitely come in handy. Before I forget, I'm going to tell you the specific kit I bought. It's a Dolly stroke control kit, SKU number stroke kit -2. It fits 1 3/4 to 2-inch cylinder shafts. Now I know what you're thinking, Craig, is that going to hurt your splitter? I don't know. I am not a professional. I'm not a machinist. I'm not a hydraulic specialist by any means. I do know that the stroke limiter that Wolfe Ridge offers is a different design than this. Their design fits in down here and rests up against this beam or this plate, and they advertise that only for their bigger splitters, not the RS, because of the connection point up here isn't strong enough to take that abuse. But I believe that's mostly because of the angle of that abuse, whereas this connection point won't get under stress as much with these. I'll also add that these are marketed towards wood splitters, okay? And I'm talking big box store splitters. So if the big box store splitters can handle these things, I think the commercial grade Wolfe Ridge can handle these things. But I did not reach out to Wolfe Ridge or any hydraulic shops to get their feedback on how these perform or if there's any danger to damaging your machine. So use at your own caution if you're going to experiment with something like this. I've done videos before, and actually a bunch of you in the comments over the year have said, Craig, you need to reduce your stroke, you need to reduce your stroke. And even one viewer sent me a picture of something similar they're using on their setup. So I've had that in the back of my mind for a long time. But when I saw them locally on sale at a big box store, I said I'm going to try them out. I was originally trying to figure out a way to rig up something to kick off the autocycle by hitting the lever. But this option is way simpler, easy to install, easy to remove, and I think it's going to work just fine. Let's install them. So I have the 4-inch, I have the 2-inch, super easy to install. It's a matter of opening them up just a little bit and they slide right over the piston. Just like that. Same thing, kind of pinch and open them up right over the cylinder. These are aluminum, so the danger of scratching the cylinder should be minimal, but that is obviously a concern. I have done a few test runs, and so far I'm not seeing any marks on the cylinder. Today will be a better test, and I'll actually do some more splitting than I have previously with these. So we'll get out there, set up, and I'll show you how it does. Here's an up-close look of them installed. And because I forgot to show you before I installed those two, here's an up-close look of one not installed. Also on today's video, I'm going to do another thing that I haven't done on this channel before, and that's use the trailer dolly here to try and get the splitter into position. I haven't used the trailer dolly on this splitter much. I used to use it a lot on my big box store splitter, but we're gonna try it today. All right, hooked up. Let's see if we can pull it through the yard. right, we're in position. That was actually more work than I would have thought, pulling the splitter with the trailer dolly. You probably won't see me do that much more. I mean, I was able to do it. The ground is kind of soft from all the rain we've been getting, but for the most part I have flat ground, and it was still a challenge. To keep in mind, with the trailer dolly, this is the lightest Wolfe Ridge splitter there is. So if you think you're gonna move your Wolfe Ridge splitter around in the yard easily, just keep that in mind, that it might be an uphill battle, no pun intended. So here's all the cherry that needs to be split. It's all cut about 12 inches. The idea there is to sell it to smoking customers later this fall. And because it's going to go towards smoking, I'm going to target smaller split sizes. So my plan is actually to drop the wedge to its lowest setting. Let's do that now. There we go, that didn't take long, pretty easy to do. So now at its lowest setting, it's approximately a 2-inch split. Give you an up close look before we begin. Wedge is lowered, stroke limiter's in place. Got the firewood. The plan is to split it and let it fall right here, and then we'll be stacking it right there. So let's get to it. So there's the carnage. Made pretty quick work of it. A lot of it was knotty and not the prettiest, but it will be good smoking wood. And the main point of this video, how did these do? Honestly, I'm not impressed. I might not run them again after this test. Throughout the video, there is some marks. Granted, I can't feel them, but they're visible, and I don't like that. Again, very light marks. They were not there before, so those are from these slightly moving around. And I think I showed you at least one point during the splitting session. Not only were they kind of moving slightly, but they were opening them up at this joint. So overall, the splitting went smooth. I was going to title the video something about why isn't anybody else running these? Well, I may have just found out why they aren't. At least in its current design, I don't trust running them on this splitter. Like I was just showing you in some close-ups, they were moving around. They did leave some marks, and that's not good. Despite in the intro, I had some high hopes based off of some initial test runs that I did, but you know, I didn't even split that much, and they were moving quite a bit. These were moving quite a bit during that splitting session, and that's just no good. But I'd still be interested in all your thoughts on what you thought of these. You know, would they work on a different application? Maybe a cylinder that's more smaller in diameter, 1 3/4 inches versus 2 inch. Even though these are advertised as up to 2 inch, I think the 2 inch is just a little too big. You know, if I had another splitter that I didn't care about, I'd probably just keep running these just to see what happens, but I care about my Wolfe Ridge 17RS. I don't want to hurt it.
You make me want to be a better man.
I don't think I've seen anybody else run these on YouTube. Maybe there's a reason, but hopefully this will help you decide if you want to try these out on your splitter. At the moment, I think this is the last time I'm going to run them. Maybe some of you in the comments will have some really good ideas on how to limit the movement, and then I'll consider modifying these to your suggestions. But otherwise, I'm interested in your thoughts on how it did today, and if you knew that this was going to be a fail from the get-go, or if you were like me and had some hope that they would work out great. But I'm going to get stacking. I'll show you the end result. I appreciate everybody watching. Have a good one. Bye. Slash or trash. Splits. It's 3 foot tall by 40 inches wide. What's that small stack? I'll probably plan to list it for sale for around $60. I'll double check the math on how much is there, but just looking at it now, I estimate I'll probably list it for $60. And to put the splitter away, we're absolutely gonna hit the easy button and not use that.